What is up, everyone? So I've wanted to make an Iceberg video for some time now, but I was never sure how to actually do it, but I decided to try. So if you like it, then I'll definitely make more of these in the future alongside theory videos and stuff like that, because I've been wanting to try that. Now, if you don't know, an iceberg is a chart that can be found for various topics online, like usually on Reddit, starting from the tip of the iceberg and going down to the depths, with lighter theories and facts being placed at the top and lesser known stuff being placed down at the bottom. Today's iceberg is going to be on the furry fandom. I know. Put your pitchforks down and hear me out. I'm not too sure who created this iceberg, but a link to the page will be in the description. So, starting off at the tip of the iceberg, we have Fursonas and or OCs, which stands for original characters. A Fursona or an OC is how someone in the furry community expresses themselves online and in person while at conventions and such. Each Fursona is unique to the person who created them and often has traits that are shared with the in-person version of the creator. The same can be said about an OC, which is essentially the same thing, but OCs don't have to be furries necessarily. Fursonas and OCs also tie into the next entry on the list, which is Fursuiting. Fursuiting is when the creator of a Fursona or OC takes a suit of their character in real life to wear at conventions and similar occasions to that. Fursuiting is a very expensive hobby, meaning fursuits can cost upwards of like $4,000 depending on who you commission to make the suit and the quality of the materials and stuff like that. But there are a lot of talented individuals who create these suits, and they're very impressive. Of course, alongside the high quality suits being made, you also have stuff like this. But there's not much else to say about that topic. It's innocent, it's just a very expensive hobby. Next we have Affinity. Affinity is a social media community / forum page, which is the largest forum site for the furry fandom. It was launched on the 10th of December 2005, and it was made as an alternative to a website called Cheeseheads, which was a similar website created in 2003 but has been shut down. In the month of July 2008, Affinity suffered from a server outage that lasted the entire month. The site is both not safe for work and safe for work depending on which artists you look at. Next up on the iceberg, we have Yiff. Yeah. There's not really anything I can say or show in the video that won't get me instantly demonetized, so if you don't know what Yiff is, just look it up. I'm sure you'll find something. Next we have Original Species. Now, original species are very similar to original characters, but the idea behind it is that the species created for these characters don't actually exist. Protogens and synths are two examples of this, but other than that, it's basically the exact same thing as a Fursona or an OC. It just doesn't exist in real life. Moving on, we have E621. Now, I'm sure, hopefully, not a lot of you know what this website is, so I'll explain. E621.net is a furry forum / art sharing website which has been completely plagued with not safe for work images that furries and non-furries draw. There's safe for work artwork on the site too, but it's very few and far between the not safe for work art posted to the site every few minutes. Definitely do not go into this website and type furry_inflation into the search bar like Pyrocynical does. Now, we've reached the shallow waters. Moving forward, we have calling each other cute. I couldn't really find anything on this except furries calling each other cute, I guess. I'm not too sure what this one's supposed to be referencing. Next up, we have otherkin, stereotype, and misconception. So to a non-fur, an otherkin is somebody who just straight up identifies as an animal and like thinks they are one, but that's a misconception. Otherkin are almost all aware of their biological human status and just want to be included into other fandoms alongside the furry fandom. Next, we have E926.net. E926.net is literally just a safe for work version of E621.net, filtering out all of the not safe for work images and only showing safe ones. Up next is the Furry vs. Gamer War. The Furry vs. Gamer War is a roleplay that takes place on the GVF War wiki. It's essentially like a Warhammer-esque roleplay about different factions battling each other, the furries, bronies, gamers, and weebs most notably. The roleplay is still going on, and it's currently set in the aftermath of the war in an apocalyptic setting. I find it really interesting, and I encourage you to check it out. I'll post the link in the description to the wiki page. Next we have Closed Species. Closed Species is similar to an original species, except the creator of a closed species typically claims to own the rights to the species, and they limit how other creators can use the species. It doesn't really work though, because an entire species is too broad of a range to be protected by copyright. Next we have Papu Furs, I'm not too sure how to say that. The term Papu Fur means an individual who is popular within the furry fandom, like a content creator, a fursuit maker, an artist, etc. There's not much else to add to that one. Now we've entered the deep end. If you're still watching, please consider subscribing, as it supports me and the channel. I'm planning to make more of these Iceberg videos in the future, so don't miss out on those. Anyways, up next, we have r/Furry IRL. Furry IRL is a Reddit community based around sharing furry memes, artwork, and comics. After researching this for a bit, I couldn't find anything too out of the ordinary, so I think that's really all it is. Up next, we have Poodling. Poodling is when a fursuiter wears a fursuit while showing some, if not all, of their human skin underneath, much like how a poodle looks with their weird-ass haircut. Next, we have Sergals are Cheeseheads joke. Sergals are an original species in the furry fandom, which are shark-like creatures from the Vilus universe. There's a joke in the furry fandom that Sergals are Cheeseheads because, well, I mean, look at it. Their heads are shaped like a cheese wheel. Next up, we have Changed. Whether you know of the game or not, I'm sure most of you know of the character Purro from the game. He's a fox-like latex thing. I'm not really too sure, to be honest, but the game itself is available on Steam, but it's basically a furry fetish game, so do play it at your own risk. Up next, we have Most Furries Are Queer. This one, as the title says, suggests that most people in the furry community are also in the LGBT community as well, which in my 8+ years in the fandom I've found to be mostly true, minus a few straight furries I've met here and there across other platforms. Alright, moving on to the depths. And our first entry is Fursuiting. Just like with the E621 entry, I can't really explain this or show it, but I'll try. A Fursuit is a fursuit which is made with the purpose of, mating in mind. Moving on, we have Conference 0. I couldn't really find a lot on this one, but I did find a wiki page with very limited information. According to that wiki page, Conference 0 was the first specialist furry convention, whatever that means, that took place all the way back in 1989 in Costa Mesa, California. 65 people showed up, but 90 had signed up to enter. I'll leave a link to the wiki page in the description because I don't really understand this one. Up next, we have Zoophilia Stigma/Stereotype. Oh boy. Zoophiles are people who feel sexual attraction toward animals. Notice how I said people and not furries, because 99% of the furries in the community condemn zoophiles and do not welcome them. There's a stereotype that because furries like to create anthropied animal characters, they're zoophiles and want to abuse animals, but it's just not true. I'm gonna end this one here so I don't get my entire channel taken down. Next up, we have the BLFC pizza incident, also known as the hallway Coom pizza. So this was an incident that took place back in October of 2021. Basically, at BLFC, a furry by the name of Maned Wolfie started a poll on Twitter asking others if they would like to add a little ranch onto one of the 10 pizzas they ordered, and well over half voted in favor. So after adding ranch onto the pizza, they left it in a hallway for 3 hours before throwing it away. What the fuck did I just read? Alright, we're on to the final tier, the Abyss. And what better way to introduce you to the Abyss than to talk about Rainfurrest. Rainfurrest was an annual convention that ran from 2007 all the way to 2015 when it was shut down. Each year there was a different theme and charity that some of the revenue earned was donated to. The last convention at Rainfurrest was in 2015, where very destructive things happened, from people getting high in the lobby to others wearing diapers and using them in the hotel lobby, where people who weren't even part of the convention were trying to check into a room. It was a very disastrous event which permanently ended the Rainfurrest convention. Next is Kiro the Wolf. Josh Hoffman, aka Kiro the Wolf, was an active member of the furry community. He joined in 2012 when his friend told him about the fandom and showed him some pictures of feral animals which interested Hoffman. After a while of being around the internet, he started to gain popularity and was a welcome member of the community until September of 2018, when Twitter leaks suggested that Kiro was a zoophile and committed acts against animals. Telegram chats were also leaked which showed Kiro talking about bestiality and suggested he was a necrophile as well. He stated he was under police investigation, but said they had found nothing incriminating against him. He also sold 3 of his Kuro fursuits to fans, but it was confirmed that he never actually sold them, and it was a way for him to wear the suit to conventions without getting caught. There's a little bit more to this, but I'm trying to keep this nice and to the point, so if you want to do your own research on the topic, I'll have it linked below. Next on the list is NekoMew's Potty Trouble. What even? So it's a rhythm game where you have to help NekoMew get to a toilet before he pisses all over himself. As you progress, the game gets more difficult. Yeah, I don't really know either. Why does it have a 9 out of 10 on Steam? Why is it $4? Who's paying $4 for a game about a cat pissing himself? So many questions, so little answers. Anyways, on to the final entry in the Iceberg, the Confederate flag fursuit. Yeah, I'm not even going to talk about this one. Form your own opinions. Well, that was the Furry Fandom Iceberg. I hope you enjoyed it, because I actually enjoy doing the research to make the video. And if you do like it, I would love to do more icebergs in the future. Just send me some topics that you want me to cover. Be sure to subscribe, as it does help me out a lot, and be sure to follow me on Twitter, and be sure to join my Discord server. Links to everything will be in the description below. Have a good night, everyone.
On this journey we will find our souls begin to intertwine. Your heart of gold, so pure, divine, and I lost myself within the fire.